What's up everybody and welcome, this is Carl93 and today we'll take a look at the FIGMA MASH KYRIELIGHT ORTINAX. Mashu is the main companion from the mobile game Fate Grand Order. This figure aims to replicate her appearance during Fate Grand Order Cosmos in the Lostbelt, or simply put, FGO Season 2. And by first look, FIGMA MASH ORTINAX is a spot-on figure representation of her in-game character. FIGMA once again proving themselves to be masters in translating this type of animated aesthetic. The proportions are pretty much perfect. This figure faithfully recreates Mashu's slender build while tastefully applying the appropriate curvatures. Her skin is fair and her outfit, for the lack of a better term, is bikini armor but with a mechanized Mecha Musume inspired twist. There's also hints of deep violet along with various white spots to break the monotony of black armor. If we compare MASH ORTINAX to her Season 1 look, aside from bulking up from the cybernetic armor, MASH ORTINAX pretty much retains the overall color scheme of her classic look. I do have a minor personal gripe though. Mashu's hair, quite frankly, is a bit dull. I would have liked it if they chose a brighter shade of lilac, just to give it a bit more vibrancy, though admittedly, this is far from a deal breaker. Moving on to articulation, a FIGMA joint is attached to the back of Mashu's hair and it gives her head ball joint-like motion. There's a chest swivel, arms can go out, arms can go around, single bent elbows that's over 90 degrees, a bit of hip skirt movement, a hip swivel, her legs are attached to another set of FIGMA joints, there's a thigh cut, double bend at the knees, and it breaks the sculpt. This doesn't look good. Maybe it's game accurate, I'd have to check. But they should have placed the knee armor a bit better. Her feet looks restrictive, but actually it's attached to another FIGMA joint. The feet can move up and down and tilt side to side. Mashu's articulation is pretty good. Basic poses are no problem, though the most surprising thing is that she's able to stand on her own despite her sharp heels. For more dynamic poses, you can always attach Mashu in the included FIGMA stand. She also comes with a pair of alternate hands in addition to her closed fists. You have a pair of open hands and 2 gripping hands. To add more expressiveness, Mashu also comes with a pair of alternate faces. She starts off with a serious stoic face, which you can swap for a battle-ready screaming face, and finally, this warm, closed-eyed smiling face. You know the one. I personally dub this as the face your waifu makes right before you wake up and you realize she's not real.
It's a total fabrication.
You also get an alternate front hairpiece with a visor attached. I actually prefer this look for her, just an added touch of detail for her cybernetic look. And of course, ringing true to her exclusive shielder class, she also comes packaged with her gigantic shield. Now this is equally as mechanized when compared to her OG shield, and there's no practical way for Mashu to carry it by herself. But she doesn't have to carry it on her own because there's also an included dedicated stand for your shield carrying poses. And as common for FIGMA, you get a small bag to store your smaller accessories. A quick size comparison, and here's FIGMA MASH ORTINAX next to FIGMA Ritsuka Fujimaru and FIGMA Gudako, FIGMA Mashu Season 1, Sentinel Lancelot, my previous FIGMA review, FIGMA Gallo Timos, and finally, just because I think their colors match and not much else, next to SHF Kamen Rider ZO. FIGMA MASH ORTINAX has been a long time coming. From her reveal in mid-2019, she was plagued with multiple delays and hit with an indefinite postponement all the way back in September. And after all those hurdles, it made this release all the more sweeter. It's no secret that I am smitten with this figure, but in terms of objectivity, one could argue that she is pretty bare bones, especially for such a relatively high asking price. But, much like I said in my previous FIGMA review, a figure's worth is determined by the price you're willing to pay. At the end of the day, the point of my videos have always been to help you decide and not decide for you. As for me, I think FIGMA MASH ORTINAX is pretty damn cool.